Welcome to Shooby Dooby Doo-Wop, a podcast where we talk about pop music, specifically by deep diving a randomly chose UK singles top 10 from the past. Each moment is cool, my biorhythm's jumping, we'll paint by numbers because you got my circulation pumping. I'm Andy Robinson.
I'm James Cook.
And which top 10 are we looking at this week, James?
It is the 23rd of October, 2000.
23rd of October 2000. What were you doing around that time?
I was 23. I was working in a big office for a utility company, or at least that's the outward impression I was giving, because what I was secretly doing was running a couple of comedy clubs and my burgeoning stand-up career from my desk. So apologies to anyone whose electricity bill went up in 2000. It's because they were subsidising the start of my stand-up career.
You're the problem.
I am.
If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
I'm definitely not part of the solution. What about you, Andy?
I was doing my stand-up career. Let's take that as granted. I was also, I'm going to say, around 2000, looking at these charts, I'm going to say I was a bit mentally ill. I'd made some bad decisions in life. I was in a bad emotional place. Also, I was working for a radio station, writing parodies of pop songs, essentially topical parodies up to the date, with a brilliant impressionist called Ian Danta. And I was writing 3 or 4 stupid parody pop. So my point is, I'm engaged in these charts, really. I was sort of working within that realm. If changing words to songs and making them a bit rude is a realm.
Were there any songs in the top 10 we're going to look at that you wrote parodies for?
There are loads of them.
Okay, well, I look forward to hearing about all
maybe
of those.
Not in the top 10, because I was looking at the top 40 to try and remind myself of what was going on. I mean, records we're not going to talk about in this top 10. Records we won't talk about in our, let's call it, extra content for subscribers. Listen to all these bangers that are in the charts. Rock DJ, The Way I Am, Eminem, and then Here Come the Girls on a Night Like This, Kylie, Groove Jet by Sophie Ellis-Bextor, Music by Madonna. I changed the word to that one day and called it Muesli. That's the type of stuff I was doing. Very proud of myself. Overload, Sugar Babes, Who the Hell Are You, and Madison Avenue, I'm Out of Love, Anastasia. Loads of classics in this top 40 at least this week.
But not in the top 10 we're looking at.
Nope. I mean, also, James, does this remind you of anything? The 3 main headlines on the BBC News on the 23rd of October 2000 were Railtrack gets an extra $5 billion to improve their services.
Yeah, and that solved everything.
That's solved. We're all done. Israeli tanks were surrounding the West Bank and there was violence still going on. And another headline was Ignorant and Intolerant, the verdict on Britain's attitude to immigrants. So as you can see, 24 years later, here we are.
It's a different time, wasn't
Different time, man.
God. I've got some stats about the chart.
I love your stats.
There are 3 UK number ones in this top 10. There are 4 new entries, 1 song going up, 5 going down, for a total net movement of no movement whatsoever. There are 6 British acts, 2 Irish, a Canadian, a Bahamian and an Australian. No Americans.
No Americans.
There are 5 groups, 2 solo artists, a duet and 2 collabs. There are no cover versions, but there are 4 songs which are heavily influenced by others.
By my reckoning, there are 4 songs about dancing, 1 song about the complexity of love, 1 song about the ute, 1 song about nice weather, and 1 song about calming down after a big strop, and 1 about carnivorous flying creatures.
Remember, you can listen to the top 10 on our Spotify and YouTube playlists. The links are in the description.
Also, within these playlists, there are another half a dozen songs that are in the top 100 on the 23rd of October 2000, and we get deep into them in our special bonus tracks podcast.
Featuring an album that was everywhere, a song that complains about how expensive everything is, and 2 songs that are problematic for very different reasons.
You can join our Patreon community for free. The bonus tracks podcast costs less than a pair of Heelys a month, very popular in 2000. Get back, Gruffy. Get back, Scruffy. Get back, you flea-infested mongrel.
Number 10.
Straight in at number 10, slowly sinking away for the rest of its duration in the charts. That's Blur. And Music Is My Radar. This is one of the songs I bought, James, because it was an extra track on Best of Blur.
Yeah, who's not going to buy the best of Blur?
Well, it's weird, isn't it? I had all the songs. There was 1 extra track on it. I spent 15 quid on the CD because I just wanted to hear the songs in a different order. I mean, if there's any kids listening, they'll be thinking, what strange times were these?
You know, there's before streaming services or even before iPods, kids.
Yeah.
Like there are young people listening to this.
Who knows? It was the last track on Best of Blur. I saw Blur recently at Wembley Stadium. They played nearly every song on the album, apart from Music Is My Radar, this week's number 10.
They didn't, because they could have introduced it by saying, "You are witnesses at the new birth of Blur Mark II. Hope you enjoy our new direction. This is the bassist Derek Smalls. He wrote this." It's their jazz odyssey, isn't it, this song?
Jazz, you say?
It's taking music to interesting new directions.
Well, Graham's certainly coming in and messing things up, as he did towards the end of Blur on their new album, Ballads Down Haze. It all lands a bit nicer, but I think Graham's definitely in a, let's try and mess this song up.
I was listening to this. I remember this at the time, and a couple of things struck me. First of all, only in researching it for this have I realised that he's not singing gibberish.
Yep.
He's actually singing actual words.
This is one of the songs I was on about earlier, a clarion call to dance in some ways.
Yeah, he sings, "Tony Allen dance me, Tony Allen dance me. Tony Allen gets what a boy can do. He really got me dancing."
I used to play snooker with a bloke called Tony Allen. It can't be about him, I imagine. Do you know which Tony Allen it's referring to?
I do. He's a renowned Afrobeat drummer.
That's right.
He's Brian Eno's favourite drummer. And Damon Albarn is singing all about how Tony Allen is an amazing drummer. And I just feel sorry for Dave Rowntree, who's right there. What's he done wrong? He's just sitting there playing the drums, when he's not flying a plane or being a member of the Labour Party.
Yeah, maybe that's why they didn't play it in their recent Wembley Best Of concerts, because Dave had pulled his face.
Yeah, could we not do the song where you sing about how you prefer another drummer, please?
Are you not digging this song? It's a groover. It's a groover and a mover. James got a brilliant riff in that.
I mean, yeah, I really liked it at the time. And I do kind of like it. It is, it is a bit funny.
How do you mean?
So 6 years after Parklife, 5 years after the Great Escape.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they do Parklife. It's a huge phenomenon, that album. Heralds the start of Britpop, doesn't it? They win all the awards. They're lauded. They think, brilliant, let's just do that album again, but with different songs.
What, on Great Escape?
The Great Escape.
Wow.
Which is like a parody of Parklife.
Oh, dearie me. Where were we going early on with this?
Right.
Yeah.
Even though it's nominated for awards and things, and when it comes out is lauded, because of What's the Story Morning Glory, and because of the whole fabricated Oasis versus Blur thing, I think they get disillusioned that very, very quickly, and they go away, and then they come back with the Blur album, which has, Song 2 and Beetle Bum, where they're more influenced by the likes of Pavement, and Graham has more of a say in the musical direction.
Yeah.
And then I think Music Is My Radar is like the first Gorillaz single.
That's certainly got that groove and vibe to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, 'cause I think
I would
that's
not argue with that.
the direction that Damon's going in, definitely.
One of his directions. I mean, when he's not writing a suite about Iceland or an opera about monkeys.
Is he?
Yeah, he's so prolific,
Yeah,
that man.
he's a creative boy.
Certainly going to pick you up on Great Escape as just a rehash of Parklife. I mean, Great Escape's got some excellent songs on.
I'm not saying the songs aren't good.
So what's your point then?
Well, my point is, they went, Parklife's good, let's do more of that.
Oi!
And then, they don't like Parklife anymore, let's do something else. And
Yep,
then
all right.
that led into this.
Yep, yeah. And here
I'm
we
not
are.
saying that's a bad thing, because at the same time as this is out, Oasis had released Standing on the Shoulder of Giants, an album that Noel Gallagher has subsequently disowned.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that, who knows? In the upcoming, as of time recording Wembley dates, I might be playing songs from that album. I love this record. Music Is My Radar. It really got me dancing back in the day and this week. And I watched the video. Did you look at that this week?
I remember it from the time.
Pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're kind of sitting in that sort of, what's it called? Like a sunken area.
A sunken area on a chat show, a cultural chat show.
And there are dancers.
Dancers.
Are the dancers wearing crash helmets? Or have I
Dancers
dreamt
are
that?
wearing crash helmets.
Yeah.
They look a little bit like the dancers in the Kylie Minogue video. Can't Get You Out My Head, ironically. That slipped my mind, the title. Also, the same choreographer who worked on Daft Punk Around the World video did the choreography for this. It didn't matter to me because I already love the song, but it was a little treat. Hey, everybody dancing. I love a dance routine, James. I mean, this is just one of those songs that is purely about the dance floor, I think.
Does it get played anymore?
Nope.
That kind of thing?
Nope.
Did it at the time get played in the clubs?
Don't think so. I mean, it wasn't... Culturally, it's not as big as some Blur records. How could you keep up that up, though, bearing in mind some of the ones I've had?
I should say also, Tony Allen did work with Damon Albarn eventually
Oh, go on, when?
in The Good, the Bad and the Queen.
Of course
He
it
was
did.
the drummer.
Yeah. So
So-
not only was it a clarion call to the dance floor, it might have been a little flirtation message sent out by Damon Albarn.
Can you come and drum with me, Tony?
Also, I looked at YouTube comments. Someone called Pruris said this song gives me Rafael Acara vibes. So I clicked on Rafael Acara, see what all the fuss was about. That was great too. So
Who is Rafael Acara?
she a singer who sings the songs that are a little bit groovy, like Music Is My Radar. The fella in the chat show on the video who is hosting the programme is Damon Albarn's father, apparently. I read in YouTube comments. That's a little fact I thought I'd just throw in.
Which is not Dr. Albarn, who had hits in the 80s.
No.
They weren't related.
As I say, it was the extra track. No, it wasn't extra track because it was part of the compilation. But I often feel this with best ofs with certain artists. The last few tracks on it, which are the new ones that they've put on to remind people that it's still a ongoing concern, always not as good as the rest of them. But that might be nostalgia.
I just find it very presumptuous that you would put out a best of, which would include your new song. Because like, you don't know if it's the best of yet.
Yeah, quite. I mean, the Beatles, when they reissued 1967 to 1970 recently, the Blue Album, as it's known in those circles, they're stuck on the new single they did, on the best of the Beatles.
And it didn't come out 67 to 70, did it? It wasn't even recorded by John
It came
Lennon.
out this year. It's an odd choice, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. These extra tracks, whilst I acknowledge the commercial need for them, they can sometimes make switch off an album early. Not this one, though. I would put it amongst the best of Blur, still one of these songs.
I think it's one of the most interesting Blur songs.
Yeah, man.
Number 9.
Another new entry and another song peaking before it disappears off down the charts. At number 9, it's Fatboy Slim with Sunset, brackets, Bird of Prey.
Bird of Prey.
I've been singing that all week.
Who sings on that?
It's Jim Morrison.
Of course it is, yeah.
So this is from the album Halfway Between the Gutter and the Stars, which I had. You've Come a Long Way Baby, the album before, had been number 1, and Praise You had been a number 1 single. This gets to number 9, the album gets to number 8. So you could argue Fatboy Slim's on the wane a little bit there. Although I recently watched the documentary about the gig he did on Brighton Beach in 2002, where 200,000 people showed up.
I'd like to see that documentary. Is it good?
Yeah, it's great because it's mostly about logistics and health and safety. So
Right
I
up your alley.
I had a lovely time watching it. And it features the word groin a lot.
Right. Why?
Because that's the name. You know, on a beach, the things that stick out in the sea, they're called groins.
Okay.
And you can hear the announcement of the police going, "Everyone, leave the groins alone." And everyone's just giggling.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one of my favourite Fatboy Slim songs. I'm a fan of Fatboy Slim, but this is it's a little bit of a downer, isn't it? I think this song
downer?
as compared to some of the other ones. But then also I realised I had a crucial awakening this week where I listened to this sitting down, thinking it's all right. When I'm up on my feet or driving or going through space in my car, I had a different feeling. This
You've been
song.
flying through space in your car again, Andy.
Yeah. Well, aren't we all?
So what's different about the feeling when you're...
I think it's a minor key and a sadness, the mournful quality of the sample. It's not right about now, it's a funk soul brother, is it? It's more mournful and sad.
So the sample comes from an outtake that's a bonus track on the posthumous album An American Prayer by Jim Morrison and the Doors.
Niche.
What I like is that the track is Jim Morrison just singing that, Bird of Prey, Flying High over the summer sky, all that. No backing at all. It's just him a cappella singing that. There are none of the other Doors on the track at all. So well done on all the other Doors for getting a songwriting credit on this track.
Yep.
Well done. In fact, the only one who doesn't get a credit is Stan Clear.
Who?
From the Doors.
Well done. Nice work. Nice work.
It's a stupid joke. One of the drum loops in it is from James Brown, Soul Pride, drummed by Clyde Stubblefield, legendary James Brown drummer.
Ah, great. Good facts these are, James.
Yeah, and there's a sample from Jet Set by Dr. John in it as well.
Ah, brilliant. Yeah, like I say, it's not one that immediately sprung to me, but it worked its way in this week. I liked it. I mean, I had a look at the video on YouTube again. Have you seen the video?
It's like a fighter pilot, isn't it?
Yeah, pilot gets into a jet, possibly takes a substance, does some,
Let's say definitely takes a substance.
and then he's doing the loop-de-loop and skydiving with free falling. It's pretty good. I mean, I looked at the YouTube comments, as is my area. Kazula 5150. I was sort of thinking, is this song groovy? Does it move me? And all that sort of stuff. But Kazula 5150, he says, those interested in aviation, this is a Royal Navy 2-seat Hawk Hunter T8 trainer fitted with an arrestor hook painted in USA livery. So a few people on the YouTube comments really got into the notion of this plane in the video being a British one, yet it was bedecked in American garb.
I could see how that would annoy an idiot.
Andrew Whitbread 9362, this is a good point. He said, honesty keeps us innocent and staying honest keeps us innocent. That's what he wrote in the YouTube comments.
Are people taking substances before they comment on the video?
Couldn't work out what he was going on about. Honesty keeps us innocent and staying honest keeps us innocent. What? Same thing. Fair enough, though.
But I would also add that being honest would keep you innocent as well.
I mean, maybe because of the repetitive nature of dance music, he just thought he had to have a phrase and repeat it a couple of times.
That's a very good point. I mean, it is quite repetitive. It is nearly 7 minutes long.
7 minutes? I mean, it's a long chart this week, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I usually listen to the chart when I'm running, and usually I can get through to like number 2 in the chart before I'm out. This one, I'm listening to 4 songs, and I'm like, have I got loads faster, or are these songs really long? And I have not got loads faster.
I'm going to say music technology. It's the advent of the CD where artists didn't feel that to cram all the record onto the limited grooves of vinyl, so a lot of songs were longer in the 2000s.
CD bloat.
Yeah, not necessarily a good thing. But I suppose if you're dancing to this and you're enjoying it, why not last 7 minutes?
Well, that's what it's designed for. It's designed for people in Da Club
off their heads.
or at Ibiza, and they don't want the song to end, do they, if they're into it? In 2008, Fatboy Slim held the Guinness World Record for the most top 40 hits under different names.
Doing one of your quizzes I like so much.
I have found 7. There might be more since 2008.
Of acts he was associated with.
Yeah, that are basically him. Yeah, him, but with a different name.
House Martins, of course.
Yes, that's one.
Who did that dub Be Good To Me that he did? What was it? Lindsay, dude. Oh, what was that operation called?
Beats International.
Beats International. I'm running out now. What are the other 5?
Who's done this one?
Fatboy Slim.
Fatboy Slim, that's another one.
I took that as granted.
What's his name?
That's annoying, that one.
What's his name?
Norman Cook.
Norman Cook, although that's not his birth name, is it?
I don't know. Oh, is it Quentin something?
Quentin Cook. So that's 4. There are 3 others. 1, let me do an impression. Turn on, tune in, drop out.
What are they called? Groove something?
Freak Power.
Freak Power.
That was him.
I keep saying groove today. I'm in a groovy kind of mood.
You are.
Yeah. Let me stop.
It's like working with Phil Collins. Pizza Man. He was also called Pizza Man.
Yeah.
And he was Mighty Dubcats as well.
Ah,
He's very prolific and he's always doing new stuff. He's got musical ADHD.
I'd like to have gone to that gig in Brighton Beach. Oh, watch that documentary. I saw him at Glastonbury once. He gave out all these 3D glasses in the day beforehand, and let's say things were improved by the presence of 3D smiley faces. Watching that gig, pretty good.
You wouldn't have got anywhere near that concert.
You don't know my determination of getting near the front of gigs. I would have got there early, stood around for 2 days. Had a nice time talking to people.
Number 8.
Down to number 8, it's Architects with Body Groove. Architects featuring Nene, I must point out.
It's spelt Nana, but it's not someone's Nana. It's a singer called Nene.
I also thought it could say Nana, so I was glad when it came out Nene. It wasn't Nana or a Nana.
There's proper Nana on this song. Do you remember this from the time?
Vaguely. I was already on my feet, let's say, hurtling through space, listening to Fatboy Slim. I remember the song, being completely unimpressed with it. It's another clarion call for dancing, isn't it? It's a little song about getting to the dance floor. I think it's going on about it's Friday night and everything's all right type point of view, let's say.
And it's UK Garage.
Yep.
Which was huge around the turn of the century.
Yep.
It was.
I wasn't into garage at the time. I'm not particularly into now. But like I say, once my expectations were set for this song and I realised what it was, I was happy enough with it.
I really liked it.
Great.
I listened to it the first time. I went, oh, I vaguely remember this. And then I've got into it. I think it's really good. I wasn't huge into UK garage at the time, being as I was a recovering indie kid. And that's why I liked Fatboy Slim, because that was dance music for indie kids, wasn't it?
Very much.
But this I really enjoyed. I didn't know much about Architects. It's two brothers, Ashley and Paul Akabar. Unfortunately, Ashley died in 2020.
R.I.P. Ashley, thank you for your contribution to the pantheon of pop.
Paul went on to be on the 2024 series of The Apprentice.
Yep, in the YouTube comments, there were a lot of people saying, hear from The Apprentice.
He came joint third. He got knocked out in the interview round. You know, where they're needlessly harsh to people who've entered the TV game show. Do you know whose favourite record this was?
No, tell me.
Their favourite record of the year 2000? Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
It's his favourite record of 2000.
Before he went on to endorse lots of bread.
I always felt about UK Garage that it kind of had a very sparse sound. When I listen to it, you can hear the sort of gaps between the different instruments. Does that make any sense?
Why not? There's a space, let's call it. They say about music, sometimes it's not what you play, it's what you don't play. So let's say it's that, to rescue that point a little bit.
Thanks, man.
There's a party scene at the end of the video with everybody dancing, as it would imply by body groove. I've said groove again, but it's in the title. There's nothing I can do about it.
I'm so glad that in the video everyone's dancing at the party. It'd be really awkward in the video,
wouldn't it?
if everyone just fucked off to the kitchen.
Absolutely, especially with such an invitation.
Yeah.
Get your body move. Come on. Oh, no, I've got to go. Thanks for having me. In the YouTube comments, someone called Mizzy Duo 7 says my fucking left toenail is in this vid. Couldn't see her left toenail.
Yeah, presumably it was still attached to her toe.
You would imagine Mizzy Duo 7 still had the foot attached.
Yeah. It's not on a plate somewhere or in a glass case.
One of 4 songs this week. Come on, everybody, let's go dancing. That's a standard in pop music, isn't it? There's one of them every week. We do at least one.
And it's got that classic sort of dance trope of the first bits being about how you've been at work all week.
Yeah.
Come on, you've earned this. Get out there.
Yeah.
And in my head...
Living for the weekend type song as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And in my head, around that time, and it's probably because I was 23 and working in an office, there was lots of that in the culture. It appeared to be like a big nightclubbing scene.
Weekenders, literally.
Yeah. I mean, was it just because I was 23 and it still goes on now and it went on before then and that was the only time I noticed it?
Yes.
Or was it... or did it peak exactly when I was paying attention to it?
I don't know. Down the lower part of the charts this week, 23rd of October 2000, around the 80s to 100s, there's loads of songs that were only in for a week. I've never heard of them. They're not on Spotify, so they must be white label records, I'm presuming. From the sound of them, there's a clubbing thing. So who knows, James? Maybe there was a stronger clubbing culture in 2000. I mean, certainly more than now, where they're all closing down.
They are, aren't they? They were everywhere in town and city centres.
Yeah, man.
And this isn't the only song to feature that trope, by the way, in this top 10.
Number 7.
Down 4 to number 7, Black Coffee by All Saints, a former number 1. It had been their 5th and final number 1. They're the second UK girl group to get 5 number 1s after...
Spice Girls?
After Spice Girls, yes. Do you know who wrote this song?
No, don't tell me.
Would you like a story?
Oh, let me settle down. Hang on, give me a moment. I'm all for a story.
The credited songwriters for this are Tom Nichols, Alexander Van Soos, and Kirsty Elizabeth. The one we're interested in is Kirsty Elizabeth. Born Kirsty Roper in 1988, she'd been Miss UK.
Yeah.
And then went on to be a runner-up at Miss World. In 2000, she co-wrote this song because this is about her falling in love with a bloke called Ernesto Bertarelli, one of the world's richest men. In 2000, they got married and made her the UK's richest woman.
Okay.
Yeah. They divorced in 2021, and at which point she became one of the UK's richest divorcees. Wow. She got a £400 million settlement. But she was literally a billionaire when this song came out. So when
Great facts.
When the chorus goes, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, it's because they were on a yacht off the coast of Sardinia. So, of course you wouldn't. You're gallivanting with your billionaire boyfriend. Why would you want to be anywhere else?
Let's give it another edge if we're looking at autobiographical nature of songwriting. I mean, it sounds so William Orbity to me. They've got all them bleeps and sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds very similar to Pure Shores, their previous hit, to the point where in my head they become sort of interchangeable, and I start humming along to one and it turns into the other one.
I agree. I mean, it's got that. Structurally, it's a little interesting because it's got the intro and the outro, whatever that is. Night swimming, beach walking, and it's got a different beginning, different ending. The middle bit of the song, let's call it the main body, quite insipid in my opinion. It's not one of my favourite All Saints songs either.
I'm sure the world's richest woman is devastated by that.
It's a song of contentment, isn't it? I feel
Smug.
she's so happy on her yacht.
Yeah.
Did you watch the video?
No.
I mean, it's interesting again. All Saints, right? First of all, they're never in shot together, which I always think is a mistake when you're doing a singing group.
There might be a reason for that.
Oh, go on, tell me now.
Well, there were cracks starting to appear in All Saints at this point. This is a very rare thing for the All Saints. This was not written by Shaznay Lewis, who had more or less written all the other songs. And there was basically a competition to see who would sing the lead. The Appletons, Nicole and Natalie, they wanted to sing the lead, but apparently Shaznay showed up early for the recording and started laying stuff down. So it's Shaznay does the beginning bit that you referred to. That's
and the
her
end
doing
bit.
that. And the end bit. And it's the Appletons in the middle. And Mel Blatt just doing what she can in the middle of all this battling. They would split up the following year and then reunite in 2006 and in 2013 and in 2022.
Fair enough. It's a complicated business. I mean, the video, again, they're just, like I say, there's no shots of them all together because of, let's call it, arguments, maybe. Also, they're all like striding around a business area, looking like big All Saint pretty Godzillas. And it's so weird, the video, compared to the song, because, as I say, the song is one of contentment, isn't it? Domesticity, I'm happy to be here. What All Saints do, they go into like a couple who are arguing, singing along about how happy they are. But because the video was filmed around the time of The Matrix, so it's got all that stop motion in it, so they're really leaning into that dynamic. So All Saints are singing about how happy they are. The couple they are in the room invading their privacy are having arguments, throwing stuff around, partly so you can see the laundry basket in slow motion. There's a good bit in the video where the man in the relationship, he's so angry, he rips a plant up.
What, from the ground?
No, from inside his house. He just sits there. He's ripping a plant up out of frustration. That's all in slow motion.
Well, he's
Matrix.
tearing up the leaves, or he's ripping it out of the soil.
Bit of both. He's just destroying it. I mean, I've had arguments in the past with my loved one. I don't think I've ever gone as far as ripping a plant up. So that made me feel a bit better about myself, this song.
Maybe the subtext of the song is that everything is going wrong, because just 21 years later, the songwriter got divorced, and All Saints split up the following year. Maybe there's something else going on a deeper level that we can't hear with our human ears.
Maybe. I mean, it was used as the song in the Centre Parks advert, so I'm going to argue with it. It's got that sort of deep meaning, you're saying.
Have you been to Centre Parks?
Maybe I'd rip a plant up if I went to Centre Parks, actually thinking about it.
Middle-class pontins in it.
I would guess.
It's like being in a cult for a week in a leisure centre.
The video's visuals make no sense with the song's lyrical content. Fail.
Oh, you're not happy about that?
That's all right. Who cares? I mean, you know, All Saints. Don't get me wrong. Quite like watching All Saints.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not being dodgy.
All right.
It's part of the ritual of pop music, isn't it? What do people look like? How attractive do you find them? It's in the mix.
It was originally going to be released by Kirsty Roper, the songwriter. She gave a demo to her manager. Her manager is the DJ Gary Davis.
Really?
Yes.
Good. Who'd have thought this song would have so much nonsense behind it?
He played it to a record company. Turned out to be All Saints' record company. And they went, we don't want her, but we want the song. Apparently, Kirsty Roper made £12,000 from the song.
Okay.
Which is about how much interest she gets in an hour.
Yeah.
Who is Melanie Blatt named after?
Someone either called Melanie or Blatt. I'm guessing not Blatt. So it must be Melanie, somebody. Melanie, the 60s pop star who had a few hits.
Yes.
Okay.
It is. She is named after her.
Number 6.
Down 2 to 6. It's the song Silence by the outfit Delirium.
Featuring Sarah McLachlan.
Featuring Sarah McLachlan, my apologies.
Escape remix.
What?
There's lots of different versions of this song. The one that got in the charts in 2000 was the Airscape remix. That was the one that was on the CD single.
Okay. As always, I do every week, James, I'm going to acknowledge what I call the Nile Rodgers philosophy. He says if you get a record that's in the top 40, it must be a good song because it's communicated with people. However, in my notes for this record, I find that I've written, I prefer silence and I was in a delirium.
Oh, harsh.
Not my cup of tea, this record, put it that way.
Okay. Of all the songs in the top 10, this is the one that I can't bring to mind immediately. But when I do listen to it, I actually quite like it. But why won't it stick in my head?
It hasn't got the hooks that are necessary, I'm supposing. I mean, Sarah McLachlan vocals, in a good way, this is. It reminded me a bit of Sinead O'Connor. There were certain melodic notes she was going for that were really Sinead O'Connor, so I don't think it was just a tone of voicing. Yeah, like I say, it's a big song, isn't it? Yeah, not enough hooks, I agree.
Well, it was originally released with a slower tempo in 1997.
I bet that was dreary. I'm going to give this one a bit of a kick in, and my apologies. Obviously, it's a song that's popular, and also I looked at the words and on YouTube comments, as I'm going to tell about. This song means a lot to people. I thought it was so depressing, the words.
It's a trance classic.
Okay, yeah, well, purely just not my cup of tea. I'm not slagging it off.
But it was a huge international hit, this remix version of it. It reminds me of Faithless a little bit.
Yep.
It reminded me a bit of The Beloved.
Got similar sounds in, hasn't it?
Yeah, I like the chorus. I like the haunting nature of it.
Which you can't remember.
Which I can't remember right now. And I didn't.
How can you like the chorus if you can't remember?
I don't know, and I wasn't really listening to the lyrics, if I'm honest. What is depressing about the lyrics?
Let me tell you some of the lyrics. Give me release. Witness me, I am outside. Give me peace. Heaven holds a sense of wonder, and I wanted to believe that I'd get caught up when the rage in me subsides. In this white wave, I am sinking. In this silence, in this white wave, in this silence, I believe passion chokes a flower till she cries no more. I mean, come on.
The tunes just come back to me when you said that.
It's my melodic reading.
I like the in the silence bit.
Yeah, right. I'm not mocking it, really. All the YouTube comments were pretty much saying this record helps me. It's really made me feel better. I would like to say that if you or anyone you know has been affected by the lyrics of Silence by Delirium, please get in touch.
Well, they're written by Sarah McLachlan, who's, a well-known singer-songwriter. She's got the chops there. Founder of Lilith Fair.
Yep, all good credentials. I'm not knocking any of that. I'm just saying this song was not happening for me. Even when I was up on my feet moving and trying to have a little bit of dance, it wasn't working. I'm a bit annoyed as well because I played it about 6 or 7 times to give myself, try and crack it really. Now it's turning up all my Spotify recommendations.
In March 2000, what did Sarah McLachlan have in common with Phil Collins, Amy Mann, Gloria Estefan, NSYNC, and Robin Williams?
Who was the first person you mentioned?
Phil Collins.
I don't know. That's a big list of people.
Your way in might be Robin Williams in March 2000. They all performed at the same event. They all sang at the same event.
The Oscars?
It was at the Oscars.
Doing what? Not that song, I hope.
No. She sang one of the songs that was nominated for Best Song at the Oscars. She didn't write it, though, because it was written by Randy Newman.
Toy Story song?
From Toy Story 2. Yeah. The song When She Loved Me.
Does Sarah McLachlan sing that?
That's Sarah McLachlan singing that. Robin Williams was there because he was singing Blame Canada from the South Park movie, which was also nominated, and they were all beaten by Phil Collins.
What song did he have?
Something from Tarzan that no one remembers.
Yeah, well, I say Sarah McLachlan's got a beautiful voice. There's no denying it.
I liked it. I was all right with it. It grows on me. These songs grow on me over the course of the week listening to them.
They really do, don't they?
In part 2 of this week's Shooby-Dooby-Doo-Up, we'll be deep diving the top 5 from the 23rd of October 2000. Here's a little taste of what's in store.
Turns out I've had this song wrong for 24 years.
It's like a millennium version of Shakespeare. Did he really write his own plays or not?
I'd love to rock a party. And I can't, because you haven't given me any specific instructions.
Yeah.
You mean, no one cares about any of that stuff when they're dancing around the handbags after a week in a shitty job.
If there's a playlist called Anemic Disco, I'd put it on that. Check out our Spotify and YouTube playlist and let us know your thoughts at shoobypodcast@gmail.com. And for the songs that aren't in the top 10, join our Patreon community and become a subscriber.
Thanks very much for listening. Please rate and review and share.
Subscribe and follow.
And subscribe and follow and shout.
And listen to the top 10 on the playlist.
And shout it from the rooftops.
And be nice to your mother.
Until next time, shooby dooby doo up.
Bop bop shoo up.